Hello and greetings from the Eccentric Side. My name is Uche Odogo. You are welcome to the Eccentric Side podcast. So on this podcast, we talk about trending topics and issues I feel needs to be discussed, like what we are talking about today on the Eccentric Side podcast. If you are a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. Do ensure you like and share and drop your comments in the comment section below. And if you are new here, thanks for joining. Thank and help us subscribe to the Eccentric Side Plus so this YouTube family can grow. Now, I heard of a story of a man that for years he was paying house rent to his landlord, and after, to cut the luxury short, he later found out that the person he has been paying house rent to has been his wife. So a friend and I were discussing this matter, and I was asking her a very simple question. Is it actually right for a man or a woman to build a house without informing his or her spouse? Let us know your comments in the comment section below, and join me in welcoming our guest for today, Blessing Okpara.
Thank you, Jay.
So, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Now, this is a very serious or unserious matter. Is a serious matter, yes, because actually, when you think of the family, this kind of things, money is not a small thing in a family. It can be big, it can be small, depending on how you look at it. But I would love to look at it on the lighter side, or however you may want to look at it. Let me know. What do you think? Must a woman or a man tell his or her spouse that they are carrying out a building house project or not? What do you think?
Yes, it's a must. But if you marry, my own opinion, if you get married to a man who doesn't have the same vision with you, I don't see it as a crime. If you go ahead and when you tell him and he's like, no, I don't want you to do that, let's buy. And you know that it's not going to be easy for you to buy a house. At least you have to have maybe 30 million or something like that. And you find a place that you can buy land as cheap as 2 million, then you build, make your plan. I don't see it as a big deal, but if your husband is not this type that agree to it, go ahead and do it.
Okay, so now there are a number of points I can speak from what you just said, and that will help us for today. You spoke about buying or building, that yes, they should tell, right?
Yes.
But if your spouse is not the kind of person that has the same vision like you, so maybe you want to build, but your spouse on the other hand wants to buy, then you can go ahead and build without him giving the go ahead. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
So what if your husband has a point? So now we stay in Lagos, yes, and in Lagos houses are quite expensive, and if you want to get a land in the urban areas in Lagos State, you have to have big money. But if you want to buy a land in a place like, let's say, inside the rural areas like Ikorodu, or you want to take it on the outskirts of Lagos to like Songo, that's where you can get land at a let's say cheaper price. So what if he is looking at this from the angle of it's not worth it for us to go far away because our jobs are in the center, in the city center. So let's buy a house that is closer to our workplace. At that point, do you think it's still okay for a woman to say she actually wants to go against her husband and build?
It depends, like I said before.
Okay.
My husband wants to buy land, a house close in Lagos because of his work.
Yes.
I want to build a house, maybe for my tenants. And if I want to buy a house, I have to have like 30 million, 60 million, 80 million to buy a house.
Okay.
And I get opportunity to get a land in Ikorodu or Songo, as you said. I'll go and get it
Okay.
without telling my husband.
Why?
Because he doesn't have the same vision with me.
But he may not be able to have the 30 million to buy a house. But what if he collects a loan and pays over time? It's still the same thing, because if you are building a house, you're not obviously going to start and finish on the same day. You're still going to have to be building it bit by bit. Today you put foundation, tomorrow when you have money to start, you start. When you have money to get to window level, you get window. When you have money to get to roof, do the finishing. So building a house is level by level, yes.
Yes.
Now, if you are building a house level by level, it means that you are also spending money to build the house stage by stage, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So if you collect a loan, buy the house, and over time you are paying, maybe monthly you are paying back the loan like 200k, 300k, is it not actually still the same thing?
To my own perspective,
Okay.
getting a loan,
Mm.
you're going to pay for landlord. Where you're living, you need to pay the money, the man's money. So how is the income? What is his income range? How are we going to? How is he going to pay the rent, the loan, and the rent? Since the man is the head of the house.
Um, well, I'm sure when you're taking a loan, that's part of what you consider. You consider whether you have the money to. But that is true. So I think you have to consider whether you have the money to build to buy, pay for your loan at the same time you bring money into the house, and at the same time pay housing for where you are currently staying. So if for example now you are staying in a house and you have a certain amount of income, you can't go and collect loan that you cannot pay back. Yes. So is it not actually still the same thing?
To me, I don't see it as the same thing. My opinion, like I said earlier on, I'll go ahead, buy my land, build.
Mm.
As far as not government work, if it's a private work, you don't know when they'll sack you. So what happens in that point when you're being dismissed from work? Who pays it? So I just think, if I get the land, since my husband is not someone who have the same vision with me, I look for someone who have the same vision with me, like my siblings.
That you could build together.
Yes, we can buy a plot, then we share it half. I built my house. But yes, it's a gradual process. As far as I'm not stealing my husband's money.
Okay.
I don't see a crime in it.
Okay.
Because it's my money, so it should not affect him. It's my dream. I've always dreamed to be a landlord, a landlady.
But you buy also a landlady now.
It's for my husband.
No, you can buy it together to be in both of you's name, or you can buy it by yourself. And
I don't want his loan. But if I buy it, and I know the foundation of the house, I know the starting and I know the finishing of the house, I don't see it as a big deal. But people will say that, like the way some people say, when a woman starts aiming more than a man, there is no respect. No, that's not true. But if you marry a man who doesn't have the same vision like you do, it will weaken the woman. And the same way goes to the man. If a man marry a woman who doesn't have vision like you do, he can't move.
So you think, like, when you want to get married as a man or a woman, you should ask whether your spouse is interested in building or buying a house. So that would determine, that would part of the thing that would determine whether you should marry that person, or do you think that should be a marriage requirement?
The many ladies will die single. They'll really die single because, like an instance, I know a man who have lived in Lagos for over 40 years. He doesn't have a house in Lagos. He doesn't have a house in the village. From my childhood till date, the house the man have been living is renovating, and still yet that same 2 room the man has been there since my childhood till date. So the man doesn't have a dream, doesn't have a vision. So is it that type of man that wants to learn, go get a loan and buy an house? It's not possible.
Okay. Now, let's look at this. look at this from this angle. Yeah. Let's say I'm your husband. I got married to you. I married for years. But I built a house and did not tell you. Then you found out evidence of the house after I was done building, like after years. How will your reaction be?
It's just like a man who we are married and he has a child outside without me knowing. That's the same way I will look at my husband because he was keeping secrets from me.
Also, you don't think it's right
Is
for
that right?
you to build?
Yes.
So,
Because I'll not be an enemy of progress for him to build. It's neither I encourage him or discourage him. So, that's it.
okay. It's time for call. They are calling for prayer, but let's move on. Now, what if I thought that you would discourage me, and that's why I did not tell you that I'm building a house? All that the excuse I give, like I felt okay, you were not going to support me, and so that was why I did not tell you I was building a house.
I'll feel bad
Okay.
because I feel he never trusted me. And it will be so painful if I find out that he has been doing it with his siblings. That means I was just this figurehead woman who.
But you actually also said you would like to build house with your siblings. You were
Because
not-
there is a clause. I made a point there
Okay.
that if my husband is not someone who has the same vision like me,
Okay.
we can work pertaining to building a house because I have the money and I want to build a house. My husband don't have the money, but he wants to buy a house. We are paying school fees for the children. We are paying rent, and your bank will not borrow you a loan that they know that you will not pay back.
Okay.
I think there are things you have, like you have car. You can't use your landlord house and stand as corrector.
Yes, that's true.
So
So you're not the owner, obviously.
that's it. Because he doesn't want. His own is they should build it and I pay. But my own is I want to start from the foundation.
Okay, so you would like to build the house to your taste, right?
Yes.
But I know someone that they bought a building and then renovated it into their taste. So broke some walls, added some walls in some places, and they were able to renovate it and shape it, so to say, into their own taste. Is that not also an option?
I believe in foundation. If the foundation is white, what would I choose to?
So you still stand on your feeling that you actually need to build it by yourself from
Yes.
scratch. Okay, so at the beginning of the video, I gave a story of a man that he did not know that his wife was the owner of the house, was paying house rent in for years, 7 years thereabout. If that were you, say you and your husband have a joint account. Now this will close today on the podcast. So let's know your comments in the comment section below. But as I was saying, so in the video I said that in the beginning I said that so the man, let's say you and your husband, you guys have a joint account. You work, your husband works, both of you paying certain amounts of money as contribution towards the house rent at the end of the year. Yeah? But then you guys have been paying house rent for years, let's say 5, 6, 7 years. They now realize that house rent people have been paying to pay for the house people are staying is actually your husband's house. How will you react?
God. Okay, this got me in a tight corner because I'll first faint. Like I collapse because it's so painful. Definitely, it's going to please now, darling. You have to pay the money, so pay with the landlord. Meanwhile, he's the
It's the
landlord.
landlord.
Oh no.
Will you divorce your husband because of that?
For the sake of the children, no. but we can never be in good terms. It'll be difficult for us to move on. I'll never trust him for anything.
Okay, I like to defend the man and look for what if, but there's no what if in that situation. It's actually just point
I'll never
blank
trust
shooting
him.
your wife. Hmm. You ask for your money back.
My money back.
Yes, for the years you have been contributing for the house rent.
We'll share the house. Yes.
No. You have paid just 7 years house rent and you've spent millions to build the house. How will you
Then
share the
how much
house?
is our rent? That should be the question.
Your rent might not be up to the money you used to build the house. Why you share the house?
Well, like, we don't know. Men die first, so if we die, I'm still joining out the house.
No.
It's my children, for God's sake.
It can not will it to you and your children, but will it out?
Oh, then.
Oh, it's his brother or something.
Oh, that's painful. But we have to, I will stop the joint account with him.
Okay.
We can't do business together again.
Okay.
And the truth is, he can't seek for my help, and I'll come to his aid. Because if I trusted him with 90% of my love, my life, everything about me, and truly, sincerely, 1% will be left for him. From 90, it's going to drop to 1%. And I'll never on earth trust him, even when he light, to the extent of there is light. I'm not going to believe him that there is light until I see it myself.
Okay. So you will never trust your husband and that
Or
will be
the other way around.
okay.
I'll tell him I want to change my children's school. They make my money back from that.
Oh,
Increasing things in the house. Just
But
to
they
make
say
my
2
money
months
back.
can't make a rent.
Oh, but for good 9 years or 7 years, as he said, I've been faithful. Paying the
Well,
oh no, that's not good. That's not good.
forgive and forget.
Well, not in this New Testament. That was in the Old Testament.
Okay, let's know what you think about it in the comment section down below. If this situation was you, how would you react and what would you do? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe to the Eccentric Side Plus. So, Blessing, we have come to the end of this week's podcast. How did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy your time here?
Yes, I do. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you very much for coming to the Eccentric Side. As we say here, till next time when we come your way, from both of us to you is stay eccentric. Stay eccentric.
Stay eccentric.
I said eccentric, stay eccentric.
Eccentric.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alright, so goodbye. Subscribe, like, share. Thank you. Bye bye. Off camera now. Have you stopped this?